Hello, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to talk about Cisco's customer experience framework and specialization. And I have two wonderful pros with me. Sean, our BDM from the Cisco team. Hey, Sean.
Hey, Aaron, thank you very much.
He's here with us at D&H. And then from Cisco, we have Hannah. She's a Cisco customer experience BDM. Hannah, so glad you could join us. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so we have a lot to cover today. We're going to cover, what is the customer experience, some of the specialization details, how that can benefit you as a partner, and just a lot of other helpful information. This is all part of what we're calling a Drive to 5 series, where we want to enable you as a partner to land with a really good score in Cisco's new Partner 360 program. There's a scoring mechanism to that, and 5 is a great place to be when that kicks off in February of 2026. So this series is going to be dedicated to that, giving you the tools you need. And this is one of those programs that can help build your score and boost everything before we even get to that point. So without further ado, we're going to jump in here pretty quickly. I do want to push out one quick poll question in a moment. And there we go. So we'll send that poll question out. Would love to just kind of hear how you feel about it at the outset here. And then we're going to cover a lot of detail. But with that, I'm going to push us into a quick little video from Cisco. It'll talk a little bit about their program. And then we'll move on from there with these two fine folks.
What is customer experience? Customer experience is a company-wide initiative driven by the vision that every customer interaction is personalized, proactive, and predictive. We determine our customers' unique business needs and then deliver customized solutions efficiently and rapidly, so customers maximize the value of their technology investments. This develops trust and lasting business relationships. Cisco has leveraged the industry-standard layer operating model to provide a streamlined, efficient approach. Layer stands for land, adopt, expand, and renew, and these are the 4 interrelated phases of the customer's lifecycle journey. Each stage of the layer model includes specific roles and responsibilities designed to drive outcomes. An important aspect of this model is that while a specific role will lead a phase, the outcomes are most successful when the roles collaborate throughout the lifecycle, sharing insights and information. At the land stage, the account team is focused on understanding the customer's needs and business objectives, and then crafting a personalized solution that strategically aligns with these objectives and delivers value. Once the sale is complete, the focus shifts to the adopt phase and ensuring the successful implementation and use of the solution. Barriers and risks are proactively identified and mitigated to clear a path to value. Cisco is continuously innovating with AI and machine learning to predict adoption barriers and provide a remediation path, enhancing the overall customer experience. Expansion can happen at any point, as opportunities to grow the relationship with the customer and deepen the engagement are identified and leveraged. Expansion solutions are focused on the customer's specific needs and business value, which can arise throughout the adoption process. Certain barriers, for example, may expose opportunities for new or additional services or solutions. The renew stage is about retaining the customer and renewing their subscription or contract. This involves demonstrating ongoing value, addressing any issues, and ensuring customer satisfaction to secure their continued business. Successful customer adoption has been proven to lead to an increased renewal rate. Cisco tools can automate renewals, making the process smooth and predictable. Cisco has also adopted the T+ methodology, which emphasizes protecting the renewal by addressing and mitigating risk from the moment the sale is completed. Ideally, by the time the renewal is due, barriers have been resolved, all customer concerns and considerations have been proactively addressed, and the process becomes nearly seamless. Cisco methodologies and technology are important to delivering customer success, but the most important element is collaboration between our Cisco and partner teams to sell, deliver, and renew solutions tailored to our customers' specific business needs. A premium customer experience occurs when we work together to be efficient and cost-effective while moving with speed and agility to position Cisco, customers, and partners for success. Thank you for watching.
So what this really is a methodology that you can bring into your business as a reseller, and use that to help your customers with their life cycle. So making sure we hit the renewals on time and moving from there. Sean, from your perspective, you're working with our partners all the time. What is customer experience in our space?
Thanks, Aaron. Excited to be here. I'm Sean Carey. I'm on the Driven team here at D&H. Our Driven team is the enablement arm of our Cisco Specialized Business Unit. And I speak for the entire team here when I say we at D&H want to assist you with your Cisco practice, and we appreciate your partnership. There are many programs within the Cisco ecosystem designed to help its partners, but one such program is the Customer Experience Program. Within the levers of programs that Cisco provides its partner community, we view the Customer Experience Program as designed to assist partners with maturing their overall processes in relation to customer lifecycle. So what is customer experience? A customer experience is a simplified, holistic framework designed to drive recurring revenue and build a sustainable lifecycle practice. The Customer Experience Program can assist partners with enhancing customer engagement and retention by leveraging Cisco's partner tools. Proactive engagement helps build stronger customer relationships and drives recurring revenue growth without additional cost to the partner. It also reduces administrative burdens, allowing partners to focus on strategy and innovation. It can also help improve sales effectiveness through insights gained from initiatives which enable partners to create solid use cases and demonstrate business outcomes to sales teams. It will teach you how to optimize your lifecycle model, helping partners adopt a sustainable end-to-end lifecycle program that delivers continuous value, supporting long-term growth and profitability. It can bring access to data-driven insights. This data-driven approach supports more meaningful customer conversations and strategic decision-making. And finally, sustainability and innovation opportunities. We have case studies later in the webinar which illustrate the program's effectiveness in helping customers improve their environmental performance and meet ESG compliance. This opens new business opportunities and strengthens partner credibility as a sustainable and innovative service provider. But when I say service provider, the customer success framework brings this a step further, with proactive, outcome-based engagement across the entirety of the lifecycle. Looking at this chart, I think that you can see the shift from the traditional reactive customer support model to the customer success framework. This improves the experience across the categories.
Now, with that, we're kind of seeing market trends that are leading us to this. Where are we seeing those market trends pop up, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's take a look at some of the trends. These are trends that we see in the IT channel today, but I would think of this even beyond the IT channel and into your own consumer habits. I, for one, have shifted from many of my buying habits to online platforms where I can easily set up recurring scheduled purchases. Generally, I can easily find descriptive training material on how an item functions or read reviews from others that might be helpful or relevant. These online marketplaces support multiple vendor options for me, and in most cases these days have a nice concise AI write-up on whatever I'm looking at. Well, your customers are the same way.
Yeah, and even along with that, within our distribution view, where we're seeing what partners are doing, just within Cisco, we're seeing some market trends there, and one of those is folks moving towards enterprise agreements with their customers. That's been a really big push this past year, and I think that's going to keep growing. So we're taking, a la carte subscriptions where we might have multiple end dates throughout the year that need to be renewed, and putting those all into one subscription with an easy renewal date. There's growth built in. And it's one of those that's, adapting with the market trends where a company has a chance to grow and pull everything into a licensing model that's easy to manage. Nothing is worse than having, 100 different licenses that you have to manage in different ways. Now, as far as market insights go, what are we seeing there, Sean?
Yeah, let's transition to the metrics. I believe that you'll find that many of these align to the trends that we discussed on the previous slide, but I'll spare you from me hitting every one of these, but some of the highlights on here. A 30% increase in renewal rates reported by companies with automated subscription management systems. That's huge. Another one, Cisco partners leveraging customer experience lifecycle methodology report a 15% higher customer retention rate. And the last one that I'll call out on here is 58% of partners cite lack of training as a barrier to effective lifecycle management.
And training is a big issue that we see from the outside, and so, sometimes folks don't even know what's available to them. One piece I do want to call out is that Cisco has a training series called Black Belt. Covers their hardware, their licensing, and there's very technical related material and much more easygoing sales material that helps you present these solutions to your partners. And a big part of what they've done now is some training within this customer experience platform, how to do it, how to interact, how you bring something to your customers through that methodology. So a lot of really good information there. If you're not using Black Belt already, I highly suggest it. And as a part of this program, it's actually one of the training activities that's recommended. So it's there, and it's always ready for you. Now with the partner side of things, Sean, they have a role in this customer experience plan. They're driving where their customers are going. What do you see there?
Yeah, so let's tie it all back in. Let's go over the partner role in customer experience. The partner is an equal collaborator in the customer experience initiative, engaging with Cisco and customer stakeholders to drive customer success and deliver business value. Partner organizations engage with Cisco and customers in many different ways. However, the overall goal of delivering a premium customer experience is the same. Ensure that customers receive maximum business value from their technology investment and build trust and lasting relationships. The key to success is close collaboration throughout the lifecycle and a fully engaged partner, Cisco, and customer stakeholders. So to start off, I'll go over the sales and account team. Their role here is to craft solutions based on the customer's specific business needs to ensure a personalized experience and let the customer know that we understand and care about their business. In addition to working closely with the customer stakeholders to fully understand the business objectives, the account team must collaborate with the customer success and renewals teams regardless of whether those roles are Cisco or the partner. This ensures that everyone is working towards the same definition of success. It will also help the customer success team identify and communicate expansion opportunities to deliver more customer value. Next, we'll go over the CSM or Customer Success Manager. Once the sale has landed, the customer success team is responsible for driving adoption and for helping to identify expansion opportunities. Early collaboration with the account team provides insights which define the customer's business objectives and the value they expect to get from the solution. These insights can also uncover possible barriers or risks that the success team can address proactively. Cisco is also evolving technology approaches using AI and machine learning to deliver predictive capabilities and enable the customer success team to mitigate risks early. Finally, the RM or Renewals Manager. As mentioned in the video, instead of counting down to the next renewal, Cisco has implemented a T+ methodology, which ensures that the renewals team has full visibility to the customer's adoption journey as soon as the initial sale is complete. With this visibility, the renewals team is fully prepared when the time comes to renew the customer's contracts and licenses and position upsell or cross-sell opportunities. Cisco also provides tools to simplify and automate the renewals process. The objective is to deliver a seamless, frictionless renewal experience for the customer and to create a natural progression from the sale to the recurring revenue for Cisco and its partners. I'll kick it back to you, Aaron.
All right, thanks, Sean, so much. So, this gives you the framework to work within. Cisco's put together a really good program for that, and we've worked with multiple vendors, and this is easily one of the strongest programs in that direction. I do want to mention real quick, as we go through this, you're probably going to have questions. There is a Q&A panel over on the side of your screen. I definitely encourage you to add questions there. At the end of this, we'll answer some live questions live. Anything we can't answer, we'll get back to you on it. But absolutely use that forum. You have 2 pros here, and this is a good time to ask your questions for that sort of stuff. So we've reviewed the customer experience methodology, what it is at this point. But the specialization itself, what we want to pull in Hannah for that. From your side of things, Hannah, what's the customer experience specialization?
Yeah, thanks, Aaron. So we heard about the kind of why customer experience, why is it important? What are we seeing in the industry? What do customers care about? And, that was the question that Cisco had as well, as we've been on this evolution process with you. As subscription, it becomes more and more important. we've realized that we needed to have sort of a blueprint to know how to navigate that. We have many different software models. We have, there's the services component. Software and services often go together. So what does that interplay look like? And so the customer experience specializations were established about 6 years ago to say, well, how would you build a set of practices around customer experience? What would that look like from a very practical point of view? Because the reality is Cisco and many of our partners had well-established services practices, but the sort of skill set and kind of caretaking needed oftentimes for, say, an enterprise agreement to make sure that those business outcomes are actually getting accomplished post-implementation is sort of a different muscle that we didn't have and our partners didn't have. And so the specialization that we have today is a blueprint based upon industry best practices around that customer success lifecycle methodology. And so the way that we've sort of broken that up into is from sort of a people processes tools point of view, which we'll talk here in a minute about, but that's sort of the high level of what the specialization is, why we have it, and why we're valuing it so much together as we evolve together.
Yeah, and so there's there's that benefit to you as a partner doing this, but there's also benefits to business, and that's something that we want to look at. Tell us a little bit more about that part of it.
Yeah, and Sean had some great insights, sort of an industry point of view. But one of the things that we noticed is that when we have sort of a methodology, like how we think about land and adopt, expand, renew, what that really means from a business point of view, an intentiveness point of view. What does that tell us about how we really serve our joint customers together? So there's sort of ability to see greater insights, understand what our customers are needing from us, maybe even opportunities to build services that we didn't have before because we have those insights. And so we see a lot of benefits of building a set of business practices around the sort of customer success methodology. So we talked about already a little bit about cross-sell, upsell. Sometimes being able to identify those projects for cross-sell, upsell has to do with having a tool set that can really capture what those important milestones were for a customer and how is the customer actually using those licenses? Are they over consuming? Are they under consuming? And so sometimes it's just simply having some visibility into that to really identify how to best serve customers, give them better options and increase revenue overall by solving those needs that we didn't necessarily know that they had because we just couldn't see it.
Yeah, and we'll definitely take a look at some of those tools further into this presentation here. But Cisco is looking at this framework as needing data. You need information to really drive a program like this, and they've put that together for you. So you can mold that to what you need, but there's so much information on what your customers are doing that you have access to as a partner now. And that just didn't exist 5 years ago even, but it's a very different story now. Now, as far as getting this specialization as a partner, what do we need to do there?
Sure. So I talked about the specialization being a very practical blueprint for sort of building a team that you maybe didn't have before or repositioning resources. And so the specialization today is that people, processes, and tools format. So you'll see that when you look at the documentation. And so what we're looking for is that in the customer experience specialization, so there's 2 of them that you can obtain that would be count towards the 360 program. But definitely the customer experience specialization is the one that I would recommend. That's that first one, that first step up, is going to have requirements around having dedicated personnel. Sean already talked about customer success managers, which are kind of like salespeople, but different, usually non-technical, but a certain skill set that's rewarded across the life cycle of this sort of KPI driven. So it might be a different type of person or skill set on your team that you may not have. Also as a renewal managers, and many of you probably already have them for services, but this is someone that would be attentive to the software renewal cycle as well. And so we're looking for a practice that has headcount or individuals that are working in this way that support the business model of customer success. Now, we're also looking for you to document your customer success practice. And so we have a document, a questionnaire that has all of the questions of what we're looking for. Some of them have already been alluded to here in this presentation, like layer and having a methodology. And so what the specialization is really asking is, how are you doing it? Here are the best practices, but how are you doing it? How are you organizing your team? Who is your team? What is your methodology around land, adopt, expand, renew? How do you define those gates? And then how does your team work together to do that? So we're asking those types of questions for you to document your processes, your tools. What tools are you using to be able to track projects across the life cycle? Oftentimes that is a major challenge. You can use Cisco's tools to do that. And so, but you need to share what that is, what your thought processes is. And so we're really looking for that documentation of your practice. Now, finally, the customer references. The customer references are there just to be a representation of the practice that you just described in that first part in the questionnaire. So you described your methodology, described what your team does and how you think about it. Then give us an example of how that worked into customers. And so usually that's going to be an enterprise agreement, or maybe a large a la carte software deal where this type of proactive management is warranted. And so we just want to see how that you went through that process, that you know how to define business outcomes and KPIs, what that adoption plan was. And so we're not checking with your customer or reaching out to them. We're just wanting to say, how did this work in real life?
Yeah. So, and speaking of the tools, I do definitely want to mention the, part of one that we're alluding to, which is PXP. That is a partner. You have access to that, and that's that portal that gives you so much visibility into your customers' renewals, their equipment, other places that you can even add sales. So maybe they've bought a lot of networking equipment, they've done wireless, but they haven't done security yet. And it could be time to start bringing that into the conversation. So just a very good tool for being able to pull that together. And I'll say from D&H's perspective, we've been through this plan ourselves. We've built our business plan for this. We identified people that are CSMs and renewals managers. And what we did find is that there are a lot of people there that were already serving in that function in some way. But it also gave us the opportunity to refine their roles and make it better and make things more cohesive as a full plan. So it even just beyond the specialization itself, it's a good practice to go through, and we found a lot of benefit from that internally. And from the partner benefit side, we definitely want to talk about that. So how does this benefit their PVI score?
Sure. So as we move into the Cisco 360 program that will be starting officially in February 1st of 2026, within this framework, we want to continue to recognize, but also really value how you are investing into this sort of methodology around lifecycle. And so within the foundation, you'll see the customer success practice maturity as well as the managed service practice maturity. And the way I like to think about it is that what we're doing is we're recognizing vertical expertise there, how you've built a set of business practices around both of those systems and structures. And so customer success practice maturity is rewarding what we call today customer experience specialization. So that will continue to be valuable. Definitely recommend listening to the webinars available through D&H and even through Cisco about what all these numbers mean for you specifically. But this continues. This particular investment is something that will get rewarded in every PVI, no matter which architecture or portfolio that you might be wanting to perform in. So this is often why this is such a hot topic sort of right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. The Partner 360 coming up too. Cisco's taking a lot of feedback on that program because it's not fully released yet, and they're making changes actively. Every month we've seen, change report, here's what's coming, here's what we've changed, and it's all making it more cohesive and better for the partner. And with that, CX also has some change coming up too. What can you tell us about that so far? I know it's limited, but we want to give them
Sure.
what we can.
Absolutely. So we're right at the tail end of all of this being released. So there's only so much that I can share here, but I do want to say just a couple of things because the summer is very critical for many partners to make certain business decisions around if they want to invest, how they want to invest. And so underneath our current partner program, we have we've been using a lot of terms that sound really similar, and I apologize for that, but customer experience specializations, which really have always been about the customer success business model. So those today you have as an option to go ahead and apply for that, and it is in the structure that I just mentioned before, that people, process, tools point of view. You have until December 17th to achieve that. So what I would do is if that's something that you're actively working towards or will be, to submit for that in our PMA tool, I would say a month in advance to make sure it can get processed in time. Again, it's going to be documentation. So telling us about that questionnaire, you can literally just fill out the questionnaire from our website with, additional documents. So you will still have that lane to apply through until December 17th. Now, the question is what is that going to do for us in the new framework? And so we will continue to recognize the specialization today, as it's called, until August of 2027. In other words, the value that we're associating to the customer experience specialization, which is a 7 in that foundation, the 50% weighted part of the foundation, we will continue to recognize that investment. So that's not something that you would have to change immediately. Now, we're also evolving the customer experience specializations into this new framework called Customer Success Practice Maturity. Again, apologies for so many similar words. And what we're doing is we're calling it what it is, a customer success. It's always been about a set of how mature is your business practices around this life cycle motion. So this is just what it is, and we'll be calling it that moving forward in the new framework. That new model will be different and have a set of requirements. So what I can say is that anything that you prepare for right now in the customer experience specializations, those requirements are going to be in the new framework. So there will be nothing lost. It will only help develop your practice and bring a mirror and accountability to how those practices are being thought through in your organization. That's really the intent. That will continue to be the ethos of the practice maturity. So all of those specific details and timelines will be published in August. So unfortunately, we're not there yet, but those new options or new requirements will be available starting on February 1 of 2026. So in other words, if you need to attain the specialization before the launch of 360 in February, you actually have until December 17th to do that. If you want to take a look at the new requirements and say, I just want to take a look and see if I just want to wait for those to come, you absolutely can. Those will be published in August, and you'll be able to have full visibility into that, and you can look at the same. But nothing will be lost between the two. Anything you invest in today will definitely be moving into the new framework.
Thank you so much for that. So, just to reiterate, you really do have a long ramp to move into this program if you decide to do it. If you start now, not all is lost. If you're not hitting it by December, that's going to work. You'll have, several steps forward towards landing the new program when it rolls out in February. So still worthwhile and still kind of worth moving forward with, especially since this can help your practice and your PVI score so much. It is a good one to work on. It's one where you've taken on recommending. Just because there's some legwork with it, but it can be so much less than some of the other options that will also boost your score. So everything is worth looking at overall. We look at this from our partner perspective, how we're helping customers, and it's a program, all that, and it's not just a hamster wheel, and we don't want to push it that way. You're not just jumping on a wheel to do things because you have to do them. We want to show some benefit too. In the resources section that we have a lot of resources for you. And a couple of them are the case studies that we have on this slide here. We're not going to dive into that today, but these are real examples where a Cisco partner is following that customer experience methodology. They're working with it, they're using it with their customers, and then had some success. So we want you to see that in the real world perspective, that you're not just jumping through hoops. It is giving you something to work with, and our team is here to help you, develop that as well. Sean and his team are on one-on-ones with partners all the time, and they're talking through, their business plans for the upcoming quarter and how they interact, and even, jumping into PXP with the partners to help them understand all that data, because it's a lot to look at. So we have that experience, we have that knowledge, and we're willing to help you. So a lot that can be done there, but definitely check out the case studies. I do recommend that. And we, as a call to action, our Driven at D&H team that reaches our business development managers, our territory sales managers. There's a nice group that's behind that and able to help. So I definitely recommend reaching out to them if you want to, get started on this program and hit the next steps. We have our Driven website as well, dnh.com/driven. A lot of good detail there. But Sean, from your own words, tell us a little bit about your team. What can you do? How do you help?
Yeah, absolutely. Our Driven team is here to assist you with growing your Cisco practice profitably. We can assist with guidance on trainings and certifications to take, navigation of programmatic discounting or rebate alignment, walkthroughs on tools like CPE automation tool or the Cisco PSS admin portal. What I think I'm doing most these days, which is the Cisco 360 partner program overviews and consultations. Wherever you're at in your journey of migrating over to the new 360 program, we can meet you there with general overviews, in-depth trainings and consultations, all the way down to tactical mapping of aligning the launch score to where you want to be with specific requirements and things to focus on. We can chart a path to get there. But whatever the case, we have a team ready and wanting to help. Reach out to any of us through that email on screen there, driven@dnh.com, and we're happy to connect.
All right, then we're just about to the Q&A. One more note before we jump to that. Do keep putting your questions in. I'm seeing some really good questions coming in, and we'll address all those. In your invite for this webinar specifically, we also invited you to next week's Drive to 5 webinar. Would love to see you there. We're going to cover Cisco's provider program for MSPs. That includes some really easy to capture discounting. It's not a full deal registration. If you're on that program and you sign it up as you're doing this as an MSP, it's a provider opportunity. There's discounting built in and a very easy flag to make that happen. We're also going to do an overview of the enterprise agreement buying program, which again helps your PVI score. And we have some opportunities there as well where D&H can help cover certifications that you may not have internally. So a great program there, and another place where D&H can help you get something across the line. So with that, I want to jump to Q&A very quickly here. And we'll kind of dig into your questions. Keep pushing questions through. We'll answer for a little bit here. We have a good block of time, and with that, we'll jump into first question. We covered it briefly, but if they start the customer experience specialization now, can't finish by December, what do they do? What's the best course of action?
Sure. So I would just wait till the new options are available on Feb 1. You'll be able to see what they are in August. So if you look at them, both of those options, and just see that it's not going to be within your timetable or wouldn't make sense to do that, then just wait till Feb 1 and you can go ahead and submit with the new option at that time. And I will say that one of the options that will be available in the new framework may be better suited to smaller companies. So I just wanted to, give you a little teaser there. So you'll be able to look at that here in just a few weeks.
Nice, very good. I'll be looking for that in August for sure. Now, Sean, good question for you. We don't currently have any CSMs. How do we start that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess what I would say there is if you have any account managers or BDMs within your organization that you feel like would be a good fit for kind of what we outlined here in the presentation today, potentially get them started on the black belt trainings. There's, as Aaron mentioned earlier, there's a lot of good trainings on black belt specific to the customer success framework and the different roles and responsibilities within it. That would be my recommendation, would be to pick a couple of those within the organization and have them start watching those trainings and working towards those certifications.
All right, sounds good. Actually, one more for you, Sean. I'm having trouble getting into PXP. I tried, don't have access. How do we get in there?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is something that our team probably does a lot of. That would to me would sound like that is a PSS admin portal issue, an access issue. So I would reach out to the driven@dnh.com email alias. One of us will pick it up. We can hop on a screen share with you, walk through the PSS admin portal and where you would go for the advanced access management feature. That will get you into the PXP tool and go from there.
All right, beautiful. We have a bit of a multi-part question. I'm going to break this up between the two of you, Anna and Sean. Let's see. Let's start with for the specialization here. Is a cert required, Hannah?
To achieve the specialization?
Yes.
Or no, there's not. There's no prerequisite for that. You can achieve it without any sort of thing.
All right, thank you. And Sean, here's the big question. Is Cisco going to remove partners with a PVI of less than 5 in February of 2026?
No, they are not. There's the reason that we're doing the Drive to 5 series is there's additional benefits to getting to the 5.0 in the program. That's, you get some additional benefits around rebates, different things along those lines that help your profitability. And that's really where we're kind of encouraging partners to shoot for. But they're not going to remove you for being under a 5.0.
Yeah, definitely. And even like the NFR requirements, that's down to a level 1 now, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Sean.
Yes,
but
they moved it down.
Exactly. So they're adjusting things to where you're definitely a partner even at level 1, and they want you to have a ramp and a place to go. It's nothing immediate. And next year when the program goes live, there's time to build your practice before things are fully enacted. So a bit forward there. Hannah, this is a little bit of a tough one, and maybe there's not an easy answer to it, but what options are available for partners with less than 4 employees? What do you see from your perspective?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for a smaller company, I think what I would do is, and maybe Sean, this would be a good opportunity for your team, is to really do an inventory of what type of business are you doing with Cisco, and with that business specifically, and what are the sort of benefits or things that you have been participating in Cisco that are important to you. And so Aaron had just mentioned about the access to benefits. And what's fundamentally changing in the partner program is that your legal agreements are going to be the same. You're still going to be able to transact on CCW. What's changing is, in a lot of ways, is how you're performing in that new framework, which may or not be suited to your business needs, your customers that you're serving. And so if there's something really specific that you're doing, I think we already have a question about Meraki specifically. If you're just doing Meraki and you really rely upon deal registration in Meraki, then that's probably one of those things that you would want to take inventory on to say, how do I make sure this is a part of my profitability in Meraki? How do I make sure that this specific benefit I'm qualifying for? So I think it really needs to be a little bit of do a little bit of an audit there to figure out what you're doing specifically. What are the incentives perhaps that you need or have been using? And then what makes sense for your business and what you care about.
Yeah, great answer for that. And just to reiterate too, we're talking about the customer experience specialization. This is not required. It's not something you're required to do, but it is one of those things that can help you. So, we want to put out, as a part of the series, things that will help you, and especially if you're wanting to jump your PVI score and kind of get things rolling ahead of time. This is what we're aiming for with the series overall. Sean, I think this might actually be our last question, unless something comes in while you're answering. But are the changes required for selling Meraki, or is this different?
So I guess this is more for boosting the score, and there's different values the higher up the stack that you get. I think what I would encourage there is to still reach out to the Driven team, but we can go through more of an overview around the partner program. It's not required for selling Meraki. This, to Aaron's point, he just mentioned, this isn't required. It's just that there are benefits depending on where you need to be. Maybe if you wanted to have that ability to have the back-end rebates, you want to be at a 5.0, and this series is designed to help give you some some different levers to pull and different ideas of what might best fit your business and the best way to go about getting there.
Yep. Yeah, definitely agreed. And a lot of it is going to be that back end money. There's going to be dollars on the table, so this program is going to help bring those in. The Partner 360 specifically. So, it's not going to inhibit what you're selling, but it adds on to what you might get out of it. Hey, another question. Yeah, Sean, send this your way. What kind of trainings can be provided?
So we have Aaron and his team of technical experts. We can always do technical trainings with their team. We do this kind of stuff regularly with our partners, where we can do walkthroughs of 360 or customer experience or anything along those lines that you'd be interested in. I would say it's really kind of tailored to the request more than set ones that we already have. So if you have a specific request, again, I keep going back to that team box, but driven@dnh.com. Reach out to us there. We can put something together for you that fits your needs.
Yep, absolutely. So with that, we're going to wrap up. A couple quick notes, and we're out of here. Again, please join us next week for our webinar, the next in our Drive to 5 series. We'd love to see you there. A lot of good information that's going to come out of that one as well. Hannah and Sean, I can't thank you enough for sharing your expertise with us. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Sure thing.
Thanks,
and on behalf of everyone here at D&H and our Cisco partners, thank you for joining us, and have a great afternoon.